gTHIRA system uses many methodologies and known best practices and the science of the intelligence community to create an autonomous data gathering engine that uses the latest technology to cipher, filter, and categorize big data into 49 threats and hazards. The system stays focused upon the ability to identify threats and hazards from anywhere on the globe, create a database that'll store each threat by a specific location, and instantly able to recall those threats based upon the known geography of each building, facility, and critical infrastructure upon demand. The data sources are scattered around the World Wide Web as news media services, social media sites, government, and university database stores. The system reads the articles or news stories and quickly determines which of the 49 threats or hazards it would be categorized as. The information is then filtered through a matrix that further defines associated threats, the industry impacted, the emergency support functions affected, the level of impact it might have upon humans, property, and how much effect it will have upon the outer protective layer, middle protective layer, and inner protective layer. The collected threat hazard then receives a geographical coordinate, identifying where this bit of information was referring towards. On average, the system collects over 50,000 threats and hazards per day, which are stored in a database made specifically for gTHIRA systems. gTHIRA is unique because it allows you to conduct a site vulnerability assessment based upon the Physical Asset Protection Guidelines set forth by ANSI and other supporting methodologies. The system recognizes the important topics and requires 18 questions to be answered in order to measure the effects of the threats and hazards from within the area. gTHIRA further integrated the NIST Cybersecurity Framework Guidelines and managed to converge these two assessment disciplines as one. What's important to realize is that your site vulnerability assessment is risk-based and will assign a score value to each question answered. The system will reach back into its database to uncover those threats and hazards to quickly determine the greatest threats. Remember, those threats had to go through a matrix that identified its potential level of impact to the various layers of protection to your facility. This is where the system begins to measure its effects to that building. The system's algorithms further tells the story of those industries that might be impacted, which of the 15 emergency support functions will be interrupted, and those neighboring businesses or terrain features that may create a secondary threat to your facility. The end result is a user-defined operating platform that is internet-based, accessible with a browser, visualized on an electronic map or a geographical information system, and will dynamically create a risk assessment of your facility.